Indian economic updates. Indian Railways is gearing up to introduce its first Vande Bharat Sleeper Express later this month, with the inaugural service expected on the Delhi-Patna corridor via Prayagraj. Timed around the festive season, the debut aims to offer faster overnight connectivity, cutting travel time to about 11.5 hours, while providing airline-like comfort at train fares. Officials indicate that alternative routes such as Delhi-Ahmedabad and Delhi-Bhopal remain under consideration, with final deployment decisions to follow passenger demand assessments. Redefining long-distance night travel, built on the proven Vande Bharat platform, the sleeper variant will feature 24 coaches, designed for speeds up to 180 km per hour and an operational range of 160 km per hour. Unlike the current chair car services limited to daytime routes, these trains are tailored for overnight journeys. Coaches will include USB-enabled reading lights, modular pantries, CCTV surveillance and upgraded fire safety systems, marking a significant leap in passenger comfort and safety. Scaling up production to meet long-term demand, the Integral Coach Factory (ICF) in Chennai has already rolled out one prototype rake for trials. At present, 10 sleeper rakes are in production, 50 are underway, and 200 more have been contracted, bringing the planned fleet to 260 units. This expansion builds upon the success of the existing 150 Vande Bharat chair car services, which remain among the most popular daytime trains nationwide. Rising occupancy and demand, Indian Railways data shows sustained growth in patronage, with Vande Bharat trains achieving 102% occupancy in FY 2024-25 and rising further to 105% in Q1 FY 2025-26. Responding to this trend, the Railways is also extending existing routes with 20 coach configurations on 7 high-demand corridors, reflecting the surge in intercity travel preferences. Part of a larger modernization drive, the introduction of sleeper services aligns with the Railway's broader modernization strategy. Over the next 5 years, the national transporter will manufacture 17,000 general and non-air-conditioned coaches to serve budget travelers, while simultaneously investing more than $22 billion in infrastructure upgrades for speed, capacity, and safety enhancements. Strategic leap forward, with the Vande Bharat sleeper rollout, Indian Railways is not only addressing demand for faster overnight travel but also setting the stage for a wider transformation of long-distance passenger services, balancing premium comfort with mass mobility across India's rapidly expanding rail network. Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled a sweeping set of infrastructure projects across Manipur and Mizoram, emphasizing railways, highways, healthcare, and education as part of the centre's Act East policy. The initiatives, worth more than 22,000 crore rupees, are being hailed as a decisive step in integrating the Northeast with India's economic growth story. Aswal gets direct rail link to Delhi. In Mizoram, the Prime Minister inaugurated the long-awaited Bairabi-Serang railway line, connecting the state capital Aswal to India's rail network for the first time. Built at a cost of 8,070 crore rupees, the 51 km line is regarded as an engineering feat, cutting through some of the region's most challenging terrain. The project includes 45 tunnels, 55 major bridges, 87 minor bridges, and India's tallest pier bridge at Serang, which stands at 114 meters. The new alignment, extending from Bairabi on the Assam-Mizoram border to Serang just 20 kilometers from Aswal, also brings 4 new stations: Hortoki, Kampui, Mulkhang, and Serang. With this, Aswal becomes the 4th northeastern capital after Guwahati, Agartala, and Itanagar to be linked directly to the national railway grid. To mark the milestone, Modi flagged off 3 long-distance trains: the Serang-Delhi Rajdhani Express, the Serang-Guwahati Express, and the Serang-Kolkata Express. These services will not only cut travel time but also ease the movement of essential goods, including food grains and fertilizers. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav described the achievement as a leap across Himalayan geology, recalling how engineers had to stabilize loose terrain before tunneling could begin. Development push in Manipur. In Manipur, Modi made his first visit since the ethnic clashes of May 2023. At events in Churchandpur and Imphal, he laid foundation stones for projects worth 7,344 crore rupees. These include new urban drainage systems, solar power plants, school upgrades, and expanded healthcare facilities, particularly in remote districts. The Manipur Infotech Development (MIND) project was also launched to strengthen digital infrastructure and create job opportunities. A further 1,203 crore rupees worth of projects were inaugurated, including the new Manipur Bhavans in New Delhi and Kolkata, the Civil Secretariat at Mantripukri, a modern police headquarters, upgraded IMA markets, and new cultural and heritage parks. Manipur is stepping boldly into a future-ready era, Modi said, stressing that connectivity and innovation would form the backbone of growth. The Prime Minister also laid foundation stones for key road projects, including the 45 km Aswal Bypass Road, the Tenjawal-Sialsuk Road, and the Khankav-Rongura Road under the Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme designed to improve access for farmers and rural traders. Additional projects include the Chimpipui Bridge under the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Framework, a new LPG bottling plant at Mulkhang, residential schools under Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram (PMJVK), and the Eklavya model, and upgraded sports infrastructure. Healthcare was another key focus, with plans for new hospitals, improved district medical facilities, and enhanced supply chains for medicines and equipment. The government also outlined steps to improve rail-air integration, linking railway timetables with expanded air services at Imphal and other northeastern airports. The combined projects mark a mega transformation for the region, aimed at reducing isolation and positioning the Northeast as a hub for trade, tourism, and investment. These initiatives go beyond physical infrastructure, representing the integration of the Northeast into the nation's broader growth story. They also reflect a significant step in realizing the government's Act East vision, with Mizoram emerging as a key player in regional connectivity and cross-border trade. By improving market access and lowering transport costs, the new rail and road networks are expected to generate employment opportunities and attract fresh investments. The Indian government is expediting approval for the next iteration of the India Semiconductor Mission (ISM 2.0), with a cabinet note expected to be taken up in the next cabinet meeting. This move aims to consolidate India's place in the global semiconductor value chain as demand and strategic urgency grow. Industry leaders are urging the government to double the financial outlay to $20 billion, approximately 1.76 lakh rupees crore, up from the $10 billion under India Semiconductor Mission 1.0. In addition to inflation-adjusted needs, exacerbated by rupee depreciation, this doubling would support a broader spectrum of semiconductor-related activities. India Semiconductor Mission 2.0 will significantly expand its range of incentives. It is set to cover compound semiconductor fabs, advanced packaging units, display fabs, capital equipment manufacturing, specialized chemicals and gas suppliers, and fabless design firms, effectively encompassing the entire chip-making ecosystem. The revised scheme will feature tiered incentives. Highest subsidies will be allocated to silicon wafer fabrication projects, while less capital-intensive segments, like compound semiconductors, will receive comparatively lower support. A dedicated portion of funding will also target fabless startups and MSMEs, signaling an inclusive approach to nurturing innovation. At the Semicon India 2025 event, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a roundtable with global semiconductor CEOs to solicit feedback on ISM 2.0. Executives confirmed that the government was committed to fast-tracking approvals and acknowledged the industry's call for nearly doubled support. Government officials added that India's Semiconductor Mission 1.0 is nearly fully subscribed, having already approved 10 major semiconductor projects, creating urgency for the new phase to sustain momentum. Moreover, underlining strategic priorities, the government is placing silicon carbides at the forefront of India's Semiconductor Mission 2.0. Silicon carbides components, known for their resilience at high voltages and temperatures, are critical for applications in electric vehicles, telecom, defense, aerospace, and industrial electronics. As India's Semiconductor Mission 2.0 progresses through its final drafting stages, the government's plans reflect a dual goal: strengthening domestic semiconductor capabilities and positioning India as a reliable, competitive global player in chip manufacturing and design. India's apparel exports rose by 11.3% year-on-year in May 2025, driven by a global shift in sourcing strategies away from China and Bangladesh, according to data from the Confederation of Indian Textile Industry. This marks continued momentum following sharp increases of 17.3% in September and 24.35% in October 2024, triggered by political instability in Bangladesh after the fall of the Sheikh Hasina government. Global buyers are increasingly urging Indian exporters to expand production capacity and obtain key certifications. India is also benefiting from a tariff edge over China, a legacy of reciprocal duties introduced during the Trump administration. This shift has brought renewed momentum to India's apparel sector, which had suffered a two-year downturn in the aftermath of the pandemic as consumer demand weakened. With a presence of only $10 billion in the $120 billion US apparel import market compared to China's $30 billion, India has substantial room for growth. However, the rise in exports is being matched by a surge in raw cotton imports due to higher domestic prices and lower domestic output. The Cotton Association of India estimates imports will rise to 3 million bales, 170 kilograms each, in 2024-25, up from 1.52 million the previous year. US exports of extra-long staple cotton to India have also increased, supported by competitive pricing and lower tariffs. Additionally, the new UK-India Free Trade Agreement, offering zero-duty access to 99% of textile items, is expected to significantly boost exports to the UK. India's apparel industry now stands at a strategic inflection point, buoyed by shifting global supply chains and favorable trade deals, but constrained by rising input costs.